Happy fourth weekend of the month. This is collective reading of whatever I want to do. And today I want to ask about the wounded healer. What is it that you are healing? As the sun moves through Aries, the sun will cross paths with Chiron, the wounded healer. And this body in the sky kind of rubs back and forth across a sore spot. This is what we're healing. This is our journey in life to heal this. Many of us have been going through a return to that place. Like I was born in 1970, and so that was 7-8 degrees, and Chiron went back and forth across there for a couple years. Now we're at 11-12 degrees. But collectively, we're all experiencing this again because the sun is crossing through there right now. It'll be there in that range of Aries for a few days. And then this summer, Jupiter will cross the same area and take several months to examine this wound in us as a collective and us as individuals. In Aries, that very physical, our desire, our bodies, our fool selves, just beginning our journey. So what I'm going to do is pick a card. And I'll pick the card from each of these decks. I've been shuffling as I talk. I'll split each one. We'll pick one card, and then you go with the card that draws you. Just trust your intuition. You'll know which card it is when I hold it up, and we'll number them 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put a time stamp in the description beneath this video. You just click there, or you can watch all 4 if you want. But trust your intuition. Go to that card, and we'll do a little reading for you there. All right, so good luck. Here is the first card. Card number 1, the 7 of Emotions. This is card 1. 7 of Emotions is about having choices. It can also be about illusions, projections. It's in the realm of cups, water, the emotions. Okay. And we're looking here at this deck. Guardian of the Night. We get, I love this image, a Page of Pentacles. Very fun, young, earthy energy, even though we have an octopus here. Could see that she is playing in the mud. It looks like a bunch of seaweed, actually. All right. The Page of Pentacles is a real offer in 3D. Or a person that brings a real 3D offer. Not in your dreams, unlike the 7 of Emotions there, but for real. That will be card number 2. Card number 2. Okay, I'll show you all again. Okay, now, number 3, Judgment. Card of Ascension, rising above, rising to the next level of life. And finally, card number 4. Taking this from the Land of Fairies. All right. The 8 of Fire. Action, communication. If you look at this card, it's a little hard to see. We see the figure of the fairy riding these fantastic birds of fire down to earth. It looks fun. It looks exciting. Okay. So we've got water, earth, a major arcana, judgment. We're going to say that is representing air and the sign of truth. So if you're an air sign, that may be how you decide, or an earth sign. But let's see. I'm going to hold them up again. I hope you go by the image that really resonates with you. Number 1, 7 of Emotions. Number 2, Page of Pentacles. Number 3, Judgment. And number 4, the 8 of Fire. Okay, hit that timestamp. And let me see, I should probably get something to write the times on here. And there's always all this farting around time between timestamps, so I'll put a timestamp for number 1, which is going to be, oh my gosh, I'm so nearsighted. Okay, 5:10. Okay, so number 1, you got the 7 of emotions. Which shall I choose? Which is the one meant for me? So this is your wound. Something happened in your past, in your life. There's a wound, this life, a previous life, that causes you to have trouble making decisions. Your mind, your heart is indecisive. Just sort of, I don't know, like she's kind of got her finger to her mouth, not sure where to put her finger. And this is because you can't see clearly yet. Underlying this is the priestess. This might be why you can't totally see clearly. There's a lot that is kept from you. This is the unknown, the secrets. So this wound in your past, pardon my dog is munching and crunching. I would say if you have an inability to make decisions, or if you're not sure right now of what decision to make, that this is because in your childhood or in your life, things have been kept from you. So you haven't had all of the information. So this can be very disorienting. In some way, I'm really seeing how this moon representing the secret intuition it's like touching your hand and all of this light is coming out. To me, it was coming as like a sharp thing, like a pain, right at the place where where you have this intuition. So when people gaslight you, for example, they cause you to question what you know, and your intuition gets thrown into question. So that's here. But there is another card here to think about, which is Ace of Materials. Very practical. See how she has her eyes closed? She's gone to the earth. Ace of Materials is a new beginning. It's a new home. It's a new job. If this is what you're trying to decide and you're having trouble knowing what is true because of some past thing that happened to you, the priestess can also be read here with this Ace of Materials, where she closes her eyes. You can trust your intuition. You were taught not to. That is your wound. Pardon my dog. Good boy, Gianni. Wow, this is a dramatic lunch over here. You've been taught not to trust your intuition, but the advice is to trust your intuition. So let's clarify this a little bit. We're going to use the Dark Tarot to do this. Okay, I had no idea what this reading was gonna be like. So here we go. We're gonna clarify the 7 of emotions, your wound, and then the gift or the advice for how to heal this. What you can know is your gift, in fact. Okay. First we get an 8 of Pentacles, putting in the work. These cards are crazy. They're comic book here. She is a snake charmer. This is her skill. Or there has been a snake charmer in your life. I feel like this is very much like the end of the road. There's a column, it's broken off. It represents like an old world that it's almost kind of is she controlling the snake, or is this a snake charmer in your life? Is this you, or is it someone? Are you the snake? So there's definitely a feeling of an outside influence here, like there's a gaslighting feeling here in your wound, my friend. Okay. Number 2 with that is a 6 of Wands. So this is a card of victory. You can see her quite powerful, quite assertive, quite certain here. I feel like this is you finding your decision-making power and rising from the wands are your fire. They are your desire. They are you knowing what you want, you prevailing, and everybody recognizing your victory. So this is about really being supported from the outside. And finally, a Knight of Cups. So you've chosen a cup. You've chosen a cup, like the Knight of Cups, carrying a cup forward on this crazy steed of hers. This is the classy love offer, the Knight of Cups. Here, they're trying to see the cup in the image. She's just going forward, heart forth. Yeah. There's this kind of like a horn coming out from her. The tarot reader ought to be able to read the cards, but I'm feeling a little farsighted today. Sorry about that. But it doesn't matter. You have a choice of cups. There's an influence from the outside, a kind of snake charmer energy. You becoming victorious over that, knowing your truth, knowing what you want, your willpower, and then going forth with the cup that you choose and bringing that forward here. So this is your wound, and this is your process of healing this as the sun moves over the place. As it moves through Aries, it's going to move over that place where Chiron's really digging deep, 11, 12 degrees of Aries. Okay, so the priestess, she's saying both that you are hurt in the place of intuition and to trust your intuition, because she's reinforced by this kind of intuitive knowing of what's real, the Ace of Materials, the material world, what's real. Okay. Priestess, 10 of Swords. This is absolutely, that's the wound, that is the pain. 10 of Swords is, I would say, one of the two most painful cards, the other being the 3 of Swords. But this one is the final pain, it's over, and there is a new day. In this image, we can see that the monster has been slain. She has killed the monster with her sword. So it's quite a liberating representation of the monster, your wound, that has held you back. Secondly, a 4 of Swords. You kill that monster and then you heal. 4 of Swords. This is going alone, and in the time alone, and it's really kind of a long process, a 4, 5, 6 of Swords process, where you go alone, you don't listen to anybody, you trust yourself, you examine your thoughts, and you're healing them. Then you look at 5 of Swords. That's a card of self-harm. How have my thoughts been hurting me? How have I been winning in ways that leave me feeling not 6 of Wands victorious, but 5 of Swords regretful, remorseful, like I have a headache, like I'm ashamed of my behavior. And then the 6 of Swords is moving into a new worldview, a new way of thinking. It can even be a new ideology. This is all about the truth, right? The priestess, intuitive truth. 10 of Swords, killing the beast of whoever gave you this concept, that monstrous presence that it was controlling your mind, like gaslighting you, and then moving into a period of individual reflection. And then, wow, we get the Knight of Wands. Awesome. This is really seeing things absolutely from the outside with total clarity and willpower. It's a very pink, hot energy, very heroic. I feel like this is referring to your intuition coming in. Now, the Page of Wands is the outsider, the foreigner. I read as the queer card, and not as gay, but as the card of the person who has broken, like out of the matrix, right? Unplugged from the matrix and now sees the real world as if they are an outsider, understands the rules as you can only see from the outside. And of course, there's things you don't understand, an outsider can't see, but you can certainly critique from the outside. And so this, I feel, is your process of healing this wound, and then the gift that it brings is this peace, this inner knowing, and this kind of earthy, abundant connection to the real world. Let's see what the cards say to clarify that. So first we get a 5 of Wands. This is a little confusion, but it's also, I like the 5 of Wands. Nobody's in charge. There's lots of ideas, lots of creativity. But yeah, competition can be a part of this because there's lots of willpower, different competing wills. These guys are actually working together. It looks like they're all on the same side in a battle, but they're each using a different kind of weapon. So I think of it as being about diversity. All right. The Moon, the unknown. This is again about intuition, about secrets. It's a journey into yourself to examine unknown, unseen parts of yourself. Things that you go on a moon journey to do this healing work. What I see here is she's facing off with these competing ideas. And because you're coming from having too many choices, it feels like what you have here is a gift of clarity. You have the big sword, and you're looking at these 5 wand guys, and they're like, no, do it this way. No, do it this way. And you're like, nope, I know my truth. So that is a gift. I also feel like because you've gone through this process of healing as a wounded healer, you use your own suffering, your knowledge of this pain, and your process of healing to help other people along the same journey. And then you get a 9 of Swords. So you're helping people through anxiety. 9 of Swords is like insomnia, anxiety. What I see here is a kind of you bringing the truth to somebody who is stuck in the same kind of anxiety that you were stuck in, right? You're this angel coming in with the truth, and here's your friend that you're helping out because you've been on this journey. You can't do somebody else's journey for them, but you can certainly help them. All right. That is the story here. We get 1 card on the bottom, which is the World. Sort of, yeah, it's like you're wrapping this up. You are wrapping up this wound and moving on to help other people go through this same wound. The other deck has 1 card here. You awakening to the truth. Yeah, that's what this is about, my friend. All right. I hope this helps. I'm now going to move on to number 2, which is going to be at 18. Oh, I got to put all these cards away. It's been a while since I did a pick a card. And of course, I hope you're going to the timestamp and not watching me do all this shuffling. But if you're here with me, hello. Ooh, my dog is being so naughty today during the reading for the first group. So hopefully he's not barking and being a real little shitty neighbor to the rest of the community here during your reading group too. Okay, so we're going to start this at 1925. Okay, so this is the reading for group 2. And you chose the Page of Pentacles for your card. Such a fun energy, young, playful, real, offering something very real that's very grounded in the earth. It's represented here by all of this beautiful seaweed. Very kind of earth in the sea. On the bottom of your deck, we have just a couple little cards here that we will lay out here to describe this process. So this is your wound. This is what Chiron is helping you heal, and we will learn more about what this is. It feels very young. It feels like all of these arms, a little bit of feeling out of control and crazy. Yeah, it's almost like you need to get grounded. It's like you are ungrounded, and it looks emotional. And like you might even appear from the outside to have your act together because you're a Page of Pentacles. But what you're really feeling is, people may just see what you offer, this pentacle. But then there's all this other discomfort going on beneath the surface here, and you're all tangled up in the seaweed. And so I feel like this is a very normal kind of wound that you could have from something that happened in your life. And because it's happening in the water, which represents the emotional realms, we have an earthy pentacle person in the emotional realm of water, tangled up in the seaweed. And there's a kind of not knowing yourself. There's parts of you that are unexplored and unseen that you're in the dark about. But you're really good at looking very steady, earthy out there in the world. Okay. And then I love this. So how to heal this? There is the Page of Wands, a bowerbird. He, much like you holding up your pentacle, he decorates the nest in order to attract a partner. So he puts up this whole front. I love this interpretation of the Page of Wands. He's an artist, and he's generous with this, and he's attracting a mate this way. The Page of Wands, I always read as like an outsider, a person who feels outside, who doesn't fit in. You may not be seen this way. You're seen as like, perhaps your house is beautiful, or people like your clothes or compliment you on that, but you don't feel like you fit in. And this goes to your wound here. You feel like the oddball. You feel like the alien, the queer, the one that doesn't fit, the weirdo. And so this is, I love the Page of Wands. The gift of the Page of Wands is that you can help people see from the outside what they can't see because they're in it. And then here we see you in a Three of Cups with true friendship, emotional connection, these fun raccoons together. And I actually always see like this raccoon here is like, I'm a little bit anxious, but I'm having fun. So it's kind of a new feeling. Maybe you're this guy who's helping these two have this party and feel free. Because what happens in this wounded healer work is that we begin to be able to help other people who share this wound, to cut loose, to be themselves, to get into, being a raccoon, right? Raccoons break into people's houses and eat their stuff and leave a mess. Or I grew up with, there was a woman that had a little raccoon. What was his name? Frosty? Put it in the comments below if you remember. But there was this, we got to hear her tell stories about him, and I just remember that he would flush the toilet and get in, because raccoons like water, they like to wash their hands. So that's what I see in the gift that you bring from this process of healing this wound this year, as the sun kind of gives you some ideas, and then Jupiter later this summer gives you a couple months to work this process of kind of embracing your authentic self, knowing who you are beneath the surface, and then helping other people to be their authentic selves along the way. All right, we're going to clarify this reading here for you, my friend. So your wound, we've been talking about the Page of Pentacles. You look good, but you're a little bit freaked out beneath this nice facade of groundedness. You need to know yourself. You don't totally know your whole body or get how to work it. It feels like you've got 8 arms and you're tangled up in seaweed. Okay? Everybody else thinks you're cool, calm, collected, grounded. I think you decorate your house well. Let's see. Okay. We get 3 cards. A 2 of Cups. This is soulmate connection. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Then you get 7 of Swords, secrecy, difficulty opening up. That's the part you don't see. And then this amazing strength, ability to rise to your highest self through love. So the story here, Page of Pentacles, is that somebody's come into your life in this time, and they're here to help to mirror you and to help you see who you are, help you to open up, right? You can see you as this bird. This is the person. This is like, it's a friend. It could be a love. I mean, the 2 of Cups is about a soulmate connection, a new one, and it's full of rainbow, fun, light. You're different. And you're equal. You look in the mirror to one another. All the rainbow is about equality and justice, as well as diversity. So I feel like what's happening in this time is that somebody has come into your life who is helping you to see yourself, like they're a mirror to you in a way. And the 7 of Swords is the thief in the night, the secretive one that steals. It steals your life away when you're not open with who you are, when people don't actually know you. And so something is happening in this connection where you're seeing the truth of who you are and you're starting to talk about it. And the effect of this is to give you the card in the tarot that beats the scariest card of all, the card that represents your addiction, that represents your codependency, your inability to set boundaries, and that sometimes because people transgress your boundaries, you turn into like a wild animal, a lion, and you rip their throats out, or you feel like you want to. And so it's not totally safe to be around you because you have unexamined darkness in you, this unexamined, unspoken truth. But you're learning in this time with Chiron, the wounded healer, as the sun crosses there, and then later this summer with Jupiter, how to rise to your best self. When you get the Strength card, this is usually a woman. She puts her hands into the mouth of a lion. She's safe. The lion could easily tear her to pieces, but just like this little lamb is safe with this person who could make a nice Easter dinner out of her, so are others safe with you because you know who you are. And remember, we have like who you are on the outside and then all that is hidden about you here. Like, I feel like you get to be both of you. You get to be this powerful, wild animal and this loving, good-hearted woman who is safe to be around in both. You get to be the full range of who you are, and you're conscious of who you are, and that's why it becomes safe to be with you. So that is your wound and the ideal of healing here. So the bowerbird, this is another bit of this wound, I think, but let's see. To me, it's like this queer card, so I feel like it's a part of this process of, it's almost like, and this comes through because I often interpret this as a card of the queer, and I don't mean gay, but what it brings up for me today is shame, and that you're doing all of this, presenting this beautiful exterior because what you need to heal is this shame. And I see this little eye looking out from this beautiful facade, and this is you in the closet, not the gay and lesbian closet, although it could be that, but I think in the more metaphorical, allegorical sense, so coming out as who you really are, right? Because you're learning who you really are in the beginning. And then maybe this summer, as you have more time, what we're examining here is you coming out as who you are. And the perspective of someone who has healed shame is very beautiful. This person knows that shame is always a lie. This person has really looked at all of the stories in their head that tell them that there's something wrong with them. And what this actually requires is that they look at external messaging, because our society, historically, Puritan roots, is built on a lot of messages of shame. I mean, I guess if you're not an American or of the US, you might have a different cultural background. But if shame is a part of your national history of origin, as it is that of the United States, to see that from the outside, to be able to critique it and to liberate yourself from it, is the deeper part of this process, and perhaps what Jupiter will need to do this summer. So underneath, clarifying this, is a 5 of Cups. This is a perspective shift. You are looking in the past. You are full of loss, regret. You're looking at all that you wasted. And right behind you is a new, beautiful, emotional beginning. It's making me think of this person that I think has come into your life to help you see this beautiful you, this rainbow heart that is you. Then, and the 5 of Cups it's a Scorpio card. I know it well. It's like a death, mini death. There's loss and regret and a lot of pain and isolation in that. And it invites you usually to look to a 2 of Cups, right? This 2 of Cups here. This is right behind the person who's focusing on 3 poured out cups. Here we have 1 cup, an ace. And I like that because it doesn't have to be another person, a relationship. It can be divine love. It can be an open category of the most vast possibilities in love. That's right there for you when you become ready to shift your perspective. And I say when you become ready with no judgment, because I do believe in grief. I believe in processing the past. I think this is fundamental to being ready for that new cup that is right there, right behind her, as soon as she's ready to turn around and look at that. Secondly, 2 of Swords. This is some confusion and indecision. You're up in your head. You don't know which choice to make. The birds represent the truth, the swords. The blindfold says that you are not able to take outside input. These are difficult feelings going on beneath the beautiful bower of the bowerbird, the porch she has constructed to attract a mate. And this brings me back again. I think this 2 of Cups is so important because it comes with the 7 of Swords. If your story is indeed that somebody has come into your life, a partner, a sweetheart, a true friend, a soulmate, and instead of being forthright about who you are, you're trying to be your bowerbird self and hide and be in the closet and act like you're all that, but you're hiding your vulnerability. This would be a very, very uncomfortable place to be. And yes, I love it. Finally, just leap out. Take a leap of faith. Drop whatever you're clinging to, this gem. It's like an amethyst. Drop it into the portal. Leap in after it. This is the gift of you. This is the gift of healing this wound. Healing this wound is coming out. It has come out as you. Be your authentic self. You are a gift. And when you know that, you become ready for this Ace of Cups, for this 2 of Cups, for this mate that you perhaps want. Or these friends, these mates. Okay, so this is you being the gift that you are as a result of coming from and healing this wound of putting on the brave face, but having a lot unexamined in yourself, but also a lot that you hide from people that you truly want to connect with, that you truly want them to love you. Maybe you want a partner. So let's see. Let's see more about the gift that you bring to having healed this wound. Okay, my friend. 3 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles. That is an incredible creativity. 8 of Pentacles, it's work, but it's like in this image, look at all that light. Look at everything that you could possibly do, everything you can imagine doing. You can see the various phases of the moon over her. She's putting in lots of time into this, and she has so many gifts to offer. This comes out of her authentic engagement with herself, with who she is. 7 of Pentacles, more about work, about gentleness, that you're patient. It took you a long time to emerge from the seed that you are into this little plant, and you're very gentle and sweet. You nurture others. You're so patient. And 6 of Swords. Does she have another person in the boat? No, often the 6 of Swords does have one person carrying another across the water. Here it's the crows, the truth brings this woman across the waters. And I feel that as a result of you moving through this journey to authenticity, you help other people across from the stormy seas of doubt, of being up in their head, of anxiety and indecision. You are like these crows. You're on wings of truth. You're faced. You know who you are, right? This is you. Hey, this is me. I know who I am. This is me. This is the truth. And here you are helping other people across this journey. And this is the gift of the wounded healer, that we heal others through our knowledge of what it means to heal this particular wound. But I think this is so fun. This is the underlying work that you can do, but this is what it feels like for you to be this free. That's really beautiful, my friend. I hope this helps you. Looking at the bottom of the deck here. Oh yeah, there's your true love offer. This is your 2 of Cups. This is where you have your open heart. You are right out there offering your open heart to whoever that is that you met, that helped you. It's almost like, and I'm sorry to be so clear about this in this reading, but it feels really clear to me. Like this person, this classy love offer is how I always talk about this Knight of Cups. They're a unicorn, right? It's just suggesting a unicorn. It's also suggesting the truth, like a ray of light coming out of the horse's head. But I always like to see a unicorn. This true, authentic love gives you they encourage you. I don't think they're doing any of this for you, but something about them makes you willing to do this. It makes you feel like this, like I'm leaping out for this. And so if this is a reading about a love that heals you, that causes you to want to heal, that causes you to take hold of and express in every relationship who you truly are, and then to help other people do the same. It's a beautiful message. It feels really beautiful to me. It makes me love you, and I don't know you. And I don't want to leave your energy and move on to the next reading, but I must. And so have a beautiful day. I'm going to move on to the 3rd card and do that reading now. Okay. Now is the part where I just hang out with myself and clean up the cards. Wow, that was sweet. Okay, let me shuffle this in case I need this again. Wow. I relate to that last journey. coming out of the closet. That's definitely something I've needed to do. And it's such a gift when somebody who's done that already is there to show you how it looks to be that free, authentic. Okie dokie chokey. So now, number 3 is going to be at 40:15. Hi, you are here for card number 3, the card of Judgment. This is the only choice that was in the major arcana. It suggests that you have finished some part of life, a cycle. I like to think of it as the video game of life, and you are ascending to the next level, like this bird, rising up, chosen, very divinely chosen here. Let's look at what is on the bottom of the deck. Just one card. Okay. The Son of Wands. Okay, so these cards are representing your wound and the gift of healing this wound as the sun and then later the summer Jupiter cross this territory. So funny, I don't quite see. In the other readings I've had 3 choices of cards, but we'll be fine. We'll work this out here. So your wound, judgment. It could even be that you have felt judged. And then the healing it's very Aries fire, passionate, like owning your desire, because owning your will, owning what you want. And that this is the process of healing that you are in, is that you come from this crowded place where everybody judges and pulls each other down, or it's quite dark. And your healing process is to be lifted up out of this, and to know yourself in the full light. And to be inspired, decisive, creative. And I'm seeing that the darkness is integrated into this being, because it's a snake. There's a lot to do with transformation here, but also I see this sort of darkness and then all of this light that comes out of it. And it's very much like this darkness and all of this light coming out of it here. So it's as if you have gone on and you have been you're maybe more mature, and so you've actually already had your return to Chiron. I have, because I'm 1970. I think I said this before. And so Chiron was rubbing across my sore spot that I needed to heal my wound a couple years ago. And boy, did I feel that. And I do feel ready. I feel how I'm squarely in the next part of my journey. So maybe you're someone who relates to that. But let's see here. Let's clarify. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Dark Tarot for you, my friend. Let's see what the Dark Tarot says to clarify. We're going to start with Judgment. Yeah, so there's the darkness, and there is you using your sword of truth to slay the monster. This is a very painful monster. And then I can see the wings here on this figure who has slain that monster. It's reminding me of this ascension. And the 10s are the end of a cycle. And so here you are, and this is in the mind and in the true realm of truth. Swords, air. Lots of air. There's lots of rising above from the crowd with integrity here, and feeling really free and full of light as a result of that. Very heroic figure. I see how she is covered in tattoos. You can see them. But she has these beautiful blue tattoos all over her body. It's like very artful. It feels like something that she has acquired on this soul's journey. It's like the way that pain marks us, like a scar, but that there's something very intentional and conscious about it, that she has like revealed her hidden pain, this pain that a 10 of swords is so painful, but she has kind of owned it. And the way that you might get a tattoo to mark a difficult passage in your life, so has she done, and she is a winged warrior as a result of what she has gone through. Secondly, we get the wheel. This is divine luck, the wheel turning in your favor, the wheel of fortune. And it's looking to me like she is putting her hand. I always think there's a door opening here. She's been in this dark place and she's going out into the blue skies here. And that is a prevailing theme here in your reading, my friend. And thirdly, the Knight of Pentacles. It's taken a long time. You have put a lot of time, a lot of thought. This is the most dedicated, responsible, disciplined knight of all. Look at you fighting that dragon. Full of light. Yeah, you are. And in our iconography, white light, we associate this with goodness. But these cards are going to tell you that it isn't about killing the darkness. It's about integrating it. It's about facing it and integrating it in a way that's very powerful and healing for you. So like, you're going to walk out with dark wings or with tattoos that represent your pain, or you're walking out into the blue sky scarred, tattooed, marked by your journey, because you aren't going to shut the door on it. But we take our wound and we use it to heal other people. We shine all of this light here. I'm reminded of the card, the Sun in the Tarot, which is a card of joy, wish fulfillment, but most importantly, authenticity. And that until we know and face our darkness, till we go on our moon journey, we do not have the capacity to be authentic. So this integration of your darkness is coming through as it's as if you've been in a battle with other people, monsters outside of you, externalized darkness, in which you've been heroic, you've been harmed, but instead of acting like a victim, you've been a hero. And you've owned all of the scars and all of the suffering and all of the uncertainty and all of the labor, all of the time. You put in years, you put in maybe your whole life to this point. You've been healing this wound. And now judgment, you did it. And you earn the right to rise up out of this to the next level. But you don't, And I think of the Bodhisattva that Joseph Campbell writes about, where this person can just levitate off the planet. They're so pure, but they don't. They come back down to earth and they teach other people and they help heal other people. And that's what I see you coming back as. And it seems, the Son of Wands is often read as a narcissist or a player. This is a person who owns their physical desire. They're super sexual. The wands, fire, lust, desire, very embodied. Chiron's in Aries. This is the place of our body. This is the place of our fire. It's the beginner. It's at the very sense of self. And so this is you not levitating and leaving your body, but very embodied, very on the earth, and like a beautiful example of a person who owns their darkness, is unashamed of it, walks around on the planet shining out with authenticity. Pretty freaking beautiful, my friend. Okay, number 3, let's see. What else will the Dark Tarot want to add to your story? The Knave of Chalices. The sweet, fun heart. Young, youthfulness that comes with authenticity. Wow, she is surrounded, much like in the other imagery, with monsters. And I can't help but notice, but she's sticking the wands up that monster's nose. That's sort of funny. But she's protected by light, by her young sort of lightheartedness, purity, a kind of purity to you. Interesting. King of Cups, King of Chalices, the wisdom of age that comes with being held by the monster that is you, your own self, your own heart, your own history. Letting yourself, like, I have trouble with the kings in this deck because the kings are always women who are being embraced by really monstrous figures. And it caused, I feel just always disturbed by these monsters. It's like my fear of the other, in a way, comes up in this deck. You, in healing this wound, are better at this than I am, right? Because you're not afraid. You're so open to the other, to the darkness, to the unknown, right? Like you're just able to stand here in this beautiful way, in a place that would be very, very scary for other people. You're just peaceful in it. You're playful in it, right? And like, again, like you embrace your desire. Like she's like, this is hot, like right on to you, right on to you. Like, I feel like kind of a prude around you, my friend. Okay, and really, it's hard to make me feel like a prude. Oh, well, and double whammy, you get the Knight of Wands twice here. Yep, fully off on your passionate love adventure. Like here we have Robin Hood engaging with you, right? Yeah, that's an affirmation here that you come out of this as this Knight of Wands who gets misread, I think, as a player because you so own your sexuality, your passion, your physicality, your darkness, and you're unafraid of it. I know, and I can relate to that, for sure. It's just I can also feel like I can learn something from you, my friend. It just kind of brings up like the gift of you. The other people, their gift is that they kind of directly help people. Your gift is that just by being you, people look at you and they're like, I want to be like that. I admire how they're so comfortable amongst strangers or, wherever it seems unsafe, like that neighborhood or that country or that culture, right? Like you're a good traveler into worlds that make other people anxious and nervous. And you find yourself there and you find pleasure there. I mean, this is your element. You're kind of like in your element. And so people see you having healed your wound. This is you have done a lot of work in your life already, of going into the darkness in yourself and in the world and integrating it. And so when people see that, you are a shining example for them. And that is your gift. And on the bottom of the deck here, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Another queen, she's like, I'll see you later. I'm going to go in here in this place that you're afraid to come into and like hang out with this monster. I'm fine. Yep. Kind of a simple but really rad message, my friend. So that is it. Number 3, your ascension is providing all of us with a beautiful example. So I hope this helps you and gives you hope as Chiron rubs on that painful place. It looks like you are completing a beautiful journey. I look forward to seeing you around town. All right. Have a great day. Okay. Now, just in case, I will shuffle this deck. This is the between time where hopefully everyone has clicked ahead to number 4. But if you're here, I'm just chatting at you while I shuffle cards. These readings have been fantastic. I'm just loving all of you. I can't wait to meet you on the road to happy destiny. Okay, final group number 4. We're going to mark at 5502. Well, hi, you are here for card number 4. This amazing, exciting adventure of the 8 of Fire. This fairy riding this bird down to earth. A message, an action. This is your wound. So let's see. What is this wound? Let me look at the bottom of the deck here. Justice is a part of this. I will talk more about this once I see everything going on beneath here. A 4 of Earth. This can be withholding, control, excessive discipline that can keep your world small. You have 4, which you worked really hard for, but you can actually have more if you just release and open up here. It looks like communication might be the wound here. The Devil. The reason why you're holding on is to protect yourself. You don't have a strong sense of self. You've been betrayed. Oh, there's so much. Interesting. Okay. This is great. Okay. This is great. You're the last group and you just have a lot going on beneath your surface. This is complicated. Then we have the 5 of Air, winning in a way that you regret. I'm beginning to think of this as addiction, sort of healing from self-harm. Not so the Devil is addiction, codependence, self-doubt. The story of this card is that this fairy tempts this one into her world, but the cost is that she removes her wings so she can no longer fly. It's too high a price. The 5 of Air is another form of betrayal where these two have been sharing a garden, and the Dahlia wants it all to herself. And so she tells these dragons that this flower is a dragon's egg and that this little fairy stole it. So then the dragons attack her, so she gets the garden all to herself. So it's winning in a really bad way. And what usually it's talking to us about is self-harm, like doing things that to get what we need, and then really being full of shame and regret afterwards. 2 more cards. Inner child work, nostalgia, a soulmate connection. The 6 of Water. So beautiful card. It's exactly the opposite of the Devil and the 5 of Air, in that we see generosity, kind of a childish, open-hearted giving and playfulness with another. And it's considered a soulmate connection and to be about nostalgia because it draws you into past, into the memory, going down memory lane, and deep old connections. It can even be past life connections. And then we get the Elder of Water, the the leader of the cups, of the suit of water, who is so emotionally mature and good-hearted. They kind of are reticent to open up about their feelings, but this is because they care so deeply for others. And it looks like, yeah, it's a process that has really, this wound that you are working on, like I almost feel like I'm talking to like the people who were born in this wound, that you act and speak quickly from a place of justice and righteousness and power, um, but it's actually causing you to feel vulnerable and like you've you've been harmful, and that the healing of this is to really look back to your ancient history when you were little, um, and to gain the emotional intelligence of the elder of water, who is like the true-hearted king or the true-hearted leader, that you can be as an adult. And sometimes, if we don't, well, always, if we don't heal what happened to us as kids, we can't be good leaders. We can't be healthy grown-ups. We can't even be the grown-up in our own lives. We're just fraught with shame, the devil, regret, five of air. We're just full of feeling I'm in trouble, I'm bad, I don't deserve. We might look like this, like really intense. We might even be an activist. Like the justice card is like, you might very publicly be like this incredible fairy, right? She's got two swords. She's like fantastic. She's like got the whole iconography going here. It's very dramatic, but it's a little bit coming through to me as like the Wizard of Oz, like how he's behind the curtain and it looks all big, but behind it is just this afraid little girl who's just got nothing and is like living from an impoverished attitude of clinging to four things, and it just limits your life. So you're like a lot of noise and power and communication, and then beneath that is control and self-doubt and shame and self-harm, and you just feel like a bad person. I would say a bad person is how you feel. Not even like you made mistakes, but you really feel bad, like you're bad. And the cure, the solution for this is inner child work to make you know your heart for real. And this is it's a journey into your story. Somehow like therapy or something like that, to get some help. I guess I see you here getting help, but I also see you, grown up you, loving your little self. And when you think you're like this, you think you're bad, you're just like a little girl who's afraid, who doesn't have a lot to offer. So you got to do this work. You can do this work, so you can be there for yourself, Six of Water, and then you can be there for others, the Elder of Water. And that's the gift that you have to bring that comes from your wound. Because you appear to be someone that people look to for leadership. You have like a kind of charisma and a big style, and you're on the right side of justice. It's just like, it feels like it hurts secretly in you, like underneath all this righteousness, you feel dark and bad, and you feel evil. Like, yeah, and you're not. Nobody is. You just need to heal that. So let's clarify this with the Light Seers deck here. So yeah, let's look at this, your wound, this Eight of Fire, this action figure hero that you are, this justice, that you bring in your dramatic and really badass way. We're going to look at these together, I think. Okay. High Priestess, intuition. secrecy. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Very grounded. A seed from which to grow. And Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So the reason that you have this wound, it has to do with your lack. You understand people who don't have very much because you come from, and you are the result of injustice. You intuitively understand, like the High Priestess, anybody who only has one ace, like one pentacle, that's why you feel like this. You feel like a poor little girl who's just got to hold on to what she has, and you fight for others out of this. And your practice in life, and the way you're a beautiful example, because you're like this Knight of Pentacles. He just walks away from all the material things. He walks barefoot on the earth. His horse decorated beautifully. He doesn't ride his horse. He's like, why would I ride the horse? We're both animals. I'm not better. So we have this beautiful sense of justice that comes from your own history of poverty. And this could be a poverty like you were poor. It could be that you weren't loved enough. You weren't given real evidence of your value, right? And instead of it making you mean, it's made you noble and generous. Like, this is you. You have one pentacle and you're like, oh, you're hungry? Here, have this. You're a giver. You are a giver. Wow. I like you. You're magnificent. And underneath, you feel like this. Nobody knows that you feel like the devil, and you feel like the Dahlia, like cruel, dark, not at all like what you look like, not a hero. And it's because you're afraid, you're a fearful little girl. So let's see if we can find out more about her. Let's find out about you. This beautiful Four of Earth. I like her because she's kind of intense. Like, she's like, don't you touch my pentacles. But I also feel like she's kind of like, hey baby. I don't know. I feel like she's like the sort of intense person who, part of how they come across all this charisma is like with an intensity of a very kind of sexual, physical intensity of like, and this is like a distraction from your lack. Your sense of lack is like, it's almost like you whore yourself out. I want to say, like, you're this, by day you're this justice worker, but there's something where you degrade yourself because you don't really feel like you're anybody. So you let people take your body with all this amazing work that you do, all of this generosity. Wow, that kind of surprised me that message came through. Okay. Yeah, this is the Five of Air. This is indeed self-harm. You know it. That crow on your shoulder is telling you in the morning after feeling. That's what that is. The walk of shame. Wow. This is really who you are. You're a beautiful Nine of Pentacles. You're beautiful on your own. You're wise. You're deep. Yeah, this is what you deserve everything in the world. So the Nine of Pentacles, it's a singular energy. It's a beautiful, safe home. It's the bird, the raptor here, the falcon is often blindfolded. It's about, you seek your own wisdom. This is how you could feel. This is 9 pentacles and you're holding on to 4. So you could have so much more if you let yourself deserve this. But instead you're in the, this is what it feels like to be you. This is all your anxiety, your insomnia, your shame. Wow, it's really coming through so potently for me, my friend. Like, I want to cry and I'm doing this reading for you. Yeah. Okay. So, you feel like this. This is why you can't sleep. You feel like you're dealing with your devil. You're not the devil, but you're dealing with a message that comes from some kind of impoverishment in this life or past life, even if you look, because 6 of water makes me even want to say like coming to terms with or like karmically resolving some kind of past life thing can be a feeling that people have. But okay, well, let's see. The devil and the 5 of swords, or 5 of air, who's here twice. The morning after, the walk of shame. Okay. This is the elder of water. King of cups. See, this is who you really are. You're this beautiful heart. You have your finger on the cup, which represents the heart. You're grounded. You're meditating. The waters behind you are calm. You're like sitting on top of the water. I never noticed that. And it's like the little creatures here gather towards you. This is who you really are. You're this beautiful king of cups, or the elder of water. But you feel like the devil. Cards want you to know incorrect. Shame is always a lie. You're a beautiful spirit, and you need to heal. And this is a 4 of swords. This is your mind. This is your concept. This is your story. This is your heart. In the 3 of swords is pierced by pain and anguish at your life. And so you need to go alone with your ideas and re-examine them and change your mind and change your stories and heal without outside input until you can know how fantastic and magical you are. This is you, the Queen of Wands, and she is the queen of the law of attraction. She can make the world she wants to live in. And I feel like this is your gift. Like, you're so charismatic, right? But you aren't, but what you need to do is feel like beneath this costume, this is you. That you truly are how people see you in the world, as this magical, generous, loving person. Like, you know, like you give the best hugs, but when you're hugging people, you don't really know how it feels to hug you. Like you feel taken from and exploited and empty because you think that if they only knew who you really are, you're this bad person, this person who's made of shame and regret. But I love that the cards did this to this. They just completely said, bullshit. You're not bad. You're the King of Cups. You heal up, baby, until you know that you're this magical Queen of Wands. Like, yeah, wow. I felt like this on number 2. Like, it's like I've felt this for all of these readings. It's like each one has made me love and admire each person, each category of reading. It's kind of sweet. I like this reading. Who'd have thought? Okay, so now we're going to look at the gift that you are, and your process of healing brings you to a place where you have so much to offer, where you know you're the King of Cups and the Elder of Water. So let's look at that. Page of Wands. That feels good. Let it loose. Dance. Just be free. It doesn't really matter if you fit in or if people even know you or see you. Like, you're beautiful and wild and free and fun and young. There's this youthfulness here that to get in touch with the kid you were, the beautiful gift that you were when you were born. And like when we come up in trauma, impoverished household, impoverished financially, but a society that's homophobic, racist, classist, full of prejudice. And so we can all feel like that we're a piece of shit in our culture. And the Page of Wands looks at the culture from the outside, like, I never fit, and that's a part of the work that you're already doing. You're showing up in the world as this superhero. It's just underneath it, you don't feel like you deserve what you give, and in a way you give too much because you feel bad about yourself. You don't know you're amazing and you don't know it. And so you with that, the gift of living outside of society and looking at it from the outside is the gift of the Page of Wands, the foreigner, the other, the queer. This very, being yourself and just embracing your childishness and the gift that you are. To know that. Seven of Wands. This takes integrity. It takes getting grounded in a safety bubble here, right? You're in your little pink bubble. So, and this is a beautiful example to set. And I see like two of these protective bubbles. Like this energy is coming in also as like a protective golden sphere. And I see that here around the elder as well, the golden bubble. Like these two have so much similarity in them. And finally, the Chariot. Lots of that magnificent momentum that you have always had towards justice. It's just, this one is carried by both horses. They're right out in front. The dark horse, the part that you have hidden, and the great white knight horse that you have always stood out as, right? So here you are with a similar energy of this 8, all of this excitement and superhero momentum, like that's not going away. You still get to be this powerful figure in the world. It's just coming from knowing better than this idea that you have that you're bad because nobody told you, nobody was well enough around you to tell you that you're a beautiful, magical gift. And so what happens when you're a grown-up is you just have to go back and you have to go back to that little kid that you were, and you have to tell her yourself, or him or them yourself. And that's what the 6 of Cups is about. And when you go back and you do that work, and it's not easy, that's why there's so many cards on the table. Like this is, you're fully, deeply in this woundedness. This is, that's why it's going to take a long time. That's why you get the Knight of Pentacles, right? Slow. It's a long process here. But once you heal this, you're the same amazing person that you were meant to be. You're the gift that you always have been. It's just you also know that. And you tell you that. You say, I'm the grown-up in my life. And you say, I love you in the mirror. You look in the mirror and you say, I love you. And it's really hard. And you're, from my experience of doing this, like I would look in the mirror and I would say, I love you, Heather. And I would just sob. I would weep like ugly because I needed to hear that from myself because I didn't believe that. I thought I was just, this was me. I've been here. I know I can still feel this way. If I don't, I'm just whoring myself out, losing sleep, like in turmoil. And so this is like a gift that, and I see like when you do this work and you return to your justice work, you had just so much that you're already giving. It comes from a new way of like feeling free, like an authentic, and also that you have some boundaries here. Like you have integrity that you didn't have before, because before you're just giving it all away and it looks fucking awesome. Um, but it's hurting you because you give away what is socially condoned, but you also are giving away your very body, right? You're hustling to prove, it's just like kind of like Jekyll Hyde. Like in the day, you're a judge, but at night, um, you just sleep with anybody and you feel bad about it. And sleeping with, I mean, it could be any way where you lack integrity. And so we see you healed and having integrity here. Um, it's just that you don't have good boundaries because you give everything. And you give everything. It's not authentic yet, but it will be. She says to me, you are all that. You really are what you look like, what your image is, you really are. You really are this generous king or this elder of water. It's the same card, right? You really are so generous hearted and wise in your heart. Like, your blind spot here is not that you don't have a heart. You have a huge heart. It's just you don't have boundaries because you don't feel that you deserve them, and you're not really aware that the reason you don't have boundaries is because you think you're bad. You think you're bad. The devil tells me that you think you're just a totally codependent. You may have addiction. You have no faith in yourself. You're full of doubt. And there's just something that you might want to look at because the Five of Air is here twice. Like you're doing something and you're getting something. You're winning in a way. Maybe people's approval in a way that doesn't actually feel good. So there's something, maybe you want to change that behavior. And to know that you need to go alone with and do an inventory of whatever that may be with your ideas. Sometimes when a person needs to do that Six of Water inner child work, they live life from a standpoint of a victim. They resent the people that they give to. Yeah. And that's usually a very unempowered place. It's a weak place to feel like people are always taking and you're a victim and you just give too much and you're a martyr. Like, that's not true either. You're getting something out of this. It looks to me like what you're getting is the grand facade to cover this pain and to never deal with it. Like, you're too busy. You don't have time to do this. You're busy doing all this other stuff. So, looking at the bottom here. Wow. Okay. So here's the other king informed of his heart, in his heart, by the truth of who you are, knowing that will give you your heart back. There's an end to this long cycle. This is a big life cycle, and that's why it's going to take a long time. And it has to do with facing the truth, some kind of truth. Like, I think that last thing I said is really important. And then you get to put down the burden. It doesn't mean I always call it this 10 of Wands, the quit your job card. You finished the job so you can quit. It's just like this job, you're going to keep doing all this amazing work. It became really burdensome. And so what is actually going to happen is you're going to get a heart for it again. And it's not going to be burdensome. It's going to feel like a really fun time. This is what it looks like. It looks like a fun time. It looks magnificent, but it really will be. You're going to be her. This is you. Okay. I'm really excited. I hope I meet you on the road to happy destiny. Let me know. Comment on this reading usually I know all my viewers. So let me know. Have a beautiful day. All right.